did not receive the promise, God having provided something better for us, that they should be not be made perfect apart from us.
All right, then. I should have put parental guidance up there, although they wouldn't have given me enough room to do that. But before we read that, we should have mentioned parental guidance for some of you young ones. If you how young you are, some that you might be viewing, but you notice some of these parts. I'm going to reread this in a little bit. So so just kind of take this best you can. But if you don't understand it, I wouldn't suggest looking it up. I would suggest going to your parents about it, because this is some pretty heavy stuff. So we're going to start with verse 30. It says, "By faith the walls of Jericho fell down after they were encircled for 7 days. By faith the harlot Rahab did not perish with those who did not believe when she had received the spies with peace." Okay, so John is about to get into this story. This is such an awesome story, but basically Joshua and his army, God told them to go and break into Jericho and basically burn it to the ground, because basically God commanded that. And in other words, God wasn't happy with this land and how they were honoring him, because they weren't honoring him. They were basically living the worst that they could possibly live. So God wanted this entire town, entire city of Jericho destroyed, but there was walls around it. So they had to march around this city and blow trumpets and do other things, shouting the Lord's name, calling out the Lord's name, for eventually these walls to fall, so that they could go attack and burn down this city. And Rahab took in 2 spies that they sent before they went even to go start marching around so these walls could fall and they could start attacking. Sent 2 spies. Joshua sent 2 spies to go, just like they send out spies to go and look at the land and figure out like where the weakness is, like what they're going to do, what's their game plan, what's their plan with war, with battle or whatever, what weapons or whatever they might have. So sent 2 spies. Well, the king of Jericho had heard about the 2 spies that were being sent, and Rahab basically brought them in. God basically spoke to her and said, "Bring them in, because so they were protected. They are my children. They're the ones that Joshua sent out, and they are under my hand." So because she brought the 2 spies in that God had sent out from Joshua and protected them from the king of Jericho, she got rewarded, and they got her and took her with them before they burned the city down, because she honored the Lord, because she did what she was called to do. And even though she was a harlot, yes, the Lord used her. And so, we're going to get into this. This is another one of the best stories in the Bible. So, John, whenever you're ready, Joshua 6, verses 1 through 27. Basically, it's the whole chapter of Joshua 6.
All right.
And it took me a few minutes to read, so it really won't take long. But we're going to go ahead and get into this. John, go ahead.
Okay. Now Jericho was securely shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And the Lord said to Joshua, "See, I have given you Jericho into your hand, its king and the mighty men of valor. You shall march around the city, all your men of war. You shall go all around the city once. This you shall do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark. But the seventh day you shall march around the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow the trumpets. It shall come to pass when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, that all the people shall shout with a great shout. Then the wall of the city will fall down flat, and the people shall go up, every man straight before him. Then Joshua, the son of Nun, called the priests and said to them, Take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of rams' horns before the ark of the Lord. And he said to the people, Proceed and march around the city, and let him who is armed advance before the ark of the Lord. So it was, when Joshua had spoken to the people, that the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the Lord advanced and blew the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord followed them. The armed men went before the priests who blew the trumpets, and the rear guard came after the ark, while the priests continued blowing the trumpets. Now Joshua had commanded the people, saying, You shall not shout or make any noise with your voice, nor shall a word proceed out of your mouth, until the day I say to you, shout. Then you shall shout. So he had the ark of the Lord circle the city around it, going around at once. Then they came into the camp and lodged in the camp. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord. The 7 priests, bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord, went on continually and blew with the trumpets.
Hey, stop right there for a minute. So if you notice, there's a number. If you've noticed through this whole chapter so far, there's one number. It's 7. And here's the significance of 7. 7 is actually the number of God. 7 is the number of perfection. And if you go to Revelation, there's 7 angels. There's 7 churches. There's 7 candlesticks. Because it's the number of God. So because God is in control of this entire thing that's going on right now, he chose 7 priests. He chose 7 trumpets. He chose 7 of each of what he chose in this story because it's his number. It's the number of perfection. It's the number of God. I wanted to spell that out before John finished, because I noticed that if you notice the number 7 kept coming up, so I wanted you guys to understand that before he finishes this, because it's a huge significance. Because if you notice in the Bible, the number 7 it could possibly be the most number in the entire Bible, but it's definitely the most number in Revelation. Go ahead and continue, John.
Sure. And the armed men went before them, but the rear guard came after the ark of the Lord, while the priests continued blowing the trumpets. And the second day they marched around the city once, and returned to the camp. So they did 6 days. But it came to pass on the 7th day that they rose early about the dawning of the day, and marched around the city 7 times, in the same manner. On that day only they marched around the city 7 times,